Alright, I'm sure we all probably remember this game called Pixel Gun 3D. It's a fun game. It's basically just like a first-person shooter, but like Minecraft themed. Think sort of like Counter-Strike or maybe Call of Duty or something like that, but for kids, okay? So this story that I'm about to tell takes place in this like game mode called the sandbox mode. And basically the sandbox mode is basically where you don't take any damage. You basically have God mode, and you're on like this little island with a little house. And there's like an ocean around, and there's like beach stuff. Whatever. It's been a while since I've played the game, so I'll just put a picture of it on the screen. So I've actually told this story before to a friend. He was the first person I had ever told about this. And he sent me this really funny tweet like the day afterwards, which I just thought was hilarious because it's kind of just like, there's not a single unique experience that people go through. It's like freaking hilarious because I genuinely thought that I was the only one. But yeah, so let's get into it. So this kind of all started when I was 10 years old. I was an avid Pixel Gun 3D player. I remember playing it on this really old Kindle Fire tablet I used to have when I was a kid. And I remember when the sandbox mode was first added. So from that, I was introduced to like a completely different like Pixel Gun 3D etiquette, if you will, or lingo. So basically, like, when you're playing like deathmatch or whatever, I mean, what all do you even say? Like, I mean, like, maybe you say GG at the end of a game, or like, you call out someone for hacking. I mean, whatever freaking 10-year-olds would say on video games back then, right? But I got into this like really, really weird like sandbox lingo, which was completely different because all of a sudden, I mean, we're not fighting each other. We're not trying to kill each other anymore. Out of nowhere, people are just like talking to each other about whatever. So in other words, that's kind of like a breeding ground for groomers. And I remember that people in there would be constantly saying stuff like, say like blank if you want a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. And it's like really weird, but it's always like they'd use specifically like GF or BF, they'd always like abbreviate it like a bunch of weirdos. So I remember since I was like 10, I don't really understand what any of this meant. I was kind of an idiot, and I became completely obsessed with this idea of getting a GF separated like that, because that's kind of just how I internalized it when I was younger. Matter of fact, I even successfully bagged a few Pixel Gun 3D baddies, if you will. Basically, I mean, they really didn't go much further than like a few conversations, or it was kind of like a one-time hookup, if you will. I don't know. Something was freaking wrong with me. But, you'd go into these lobbies or whatever, and it'd be packed full of people, and then you could just say something like, "Who wants to be my GF?" And then you'd probably get a few responses within, like, a couple of seconds. It's kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. And, as a 10-year-old, I didn't really bat an eye because, well, I was just stupid, alright? I don't even know, man. So, one particular day, right, I joined into a lobby with only one open slot. Might have been called something like, "Who wants a GF?" or, whatever like that. Or, "I need a BF, I want a BF." I don't know, something like that, okay? It doesn't really matter. So, I joined in, alright? And there was someone who, okay, appeared to be a girl. So, I'm gonna use she, just for the sake of simplicity. Very well, though, it could have just been, like, some freaking old dude. I don't freaking know. But she looked like a girl. Her skin was of a girl, alright? So, I join in, and, I'm having a conversation with her, something. We're really just trying to, like, introduce ourselves or whatever. And she asked me how old I was. And, of course, being the responsible young man that I was, I told her the truth. I said, "I am 10 years old." All right. And how did she respond? She said she was 16. Um, Interesting. Okay. Probably wasn't even telling the truth. Let's be honest. Looking back at it, probably wasn't telling the truth. Probably much, much older. However, even so, even then, I didn't even have a concept of age gaps. So I don't even know, like, if I like knew that she was lying, if it would have really changed anything. You know what I mean? Like, she could have been like freaking 24 or something, and I probably still wouldn't have really cared because whoop-de-doo, again, I was an idiot. All right. So we like kind of just started talking a little bit. She talked like super weird too. She kind of used that weird um like groomer internet slang or whatever, or what is stereotypically groomer internet slang, like using all this like really weird like emoticons and stuff like that, that just kind of is kind of like a reek of like groomer. I don't even know. But yeah, eventually, right, we end up going into the house. All right, we ended up going into the house, and she asks me something, which is a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. She asks me if I wanted to fuck. So, okay. Obviously, I was 10 years old. Okay. I was also very sheltered as a kid. So, I didn't know what that meant. I saw the cuss word and I was like, I don't know if I should be doing this, man. That might be a bit too much for me. All right. But then, like, so I literally asked her, like, what does that mean? I don't know what that is. And then she clarified and said it just meant sex. Now, I had heard this word kind of thrown around a lot when I was younger. I didn't really know exactly what it meant. All I kind of knew was that it was something that adults did. And supposedly it was the bee's knees, okay? Like, this is like, I don't know, the peak of human intimacy. But, I mean, that's all I really got from it. It was just something. If I'm being honest, in my, like, 10-year-old mind, it probably just meant, like, making out or something. And even then, I didn't even really understand the appeal of that. But I was thinking, like, okay, I ended up like agreeing to do it after she said what that meant. And keep in mind, this is Pixel Gun 3D. So, I mean, what all can we even freaking do? So we hop into this like bed or whatever, and and then I kind of just like literally just start jumping in place, like, because that's like the most mobility that you can possibly have in this stupid game. All right. And then she starts saying like some freaking ridiculous things in the chat, like harder, do it harder, like do it faster, yada yada yada. I remember like literally like and, like while I was just like pressing the jump button, I was just like thinking like, okay, like do you want me to press the jump button like harder? Like do you want like I don't know, like I was such a freaking idiot. Then after we're done with this or whatever, I think she literally like she even used like some really like gross like sexual terminology and stuff that I didn't understand at the time. Looking back when I remember it, like I know what she was talking about now, but like, geez Louise, man, it's kind of gross looking back at it. I'm not gonna lie. And then like after we're done with that, she offers another service, if you will. She offers to suck my dick, which, okay, that's kind of gross, and that's literally what I was thinking when she said that. Keep in mind, by the way, I didn't know what sex was. I had no idea what that freaking was. So if you're gonna freaking tell me that, I don't understand how this could possibly even like feel good or be something that a human being would want. So it kind of just felt like an invasion of my privacy, which, I mean, it's funny how like that was the turn off for me, you know? So immediately I was like, hell nah. And I literally like ran away like on the map. I didn't just disconnect. I could have just disconnected and this would have been over. But no, I had other plans. I wanted to be like a dramatic little something or other. I don't know. So I ran away and I went over to like the shore area and I kind of just like stared off into the sunset longingly, like, like she had done something horrible to me, which to be fair, she did. Okay. Then she comes out eventually and follows me. And she's trying to like reassure me or whatever. She tells me like, oh, like, don't worry, it's okay, we don't have to do that, it's okay, like everyone has their boundaries, etc. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she says something freaking ridiculous, completely out of pocket, and I mean like actually totally out of pocket, and it's like almost freaking comedic, like remembering the way that she said it too. It was like immediately after telling me that it was okay, she says like perfect like capitalization and everything. Let's get naked! Exclamation point. So I'm like, I think so, for some freaking reason. Again, this is like, I kind of just like assumed like, oh yeah, this is just something that you do, bro. This is just something that you do. So then we go back in. All right, we go back into the bedroom, and then we kind of just like, I think we literally just did the exact same thing again. The whole jump button rigmarole or whatever. And then, if I recall correctly, I had to get off. I had to get off of the game because I think my like one of my parents probably told me that dinner was ready or something like that, or maybe I had to go to bed. I don't know. Okay, but she ended up friending me. All right. So I told her like, oh, sorry, I gotta leave. Yada yada yada. She friended me, and for some reason I accepted it. I don't really know why, but whatever. And one of like, I think the next day I started playing the game again, and I didn't go into sandbox mode though. I just like went into like a deathmatch lobby. Then she like joined me, because she friended me, which I mean like is very very weird, I guess. But when she joined in, she was like acting all like weird and like possessive of me or whatever, and being like really open about the fact that she was like dating me or something, and that we had like done like X, Y, and Z in a private lobby, and it's like really, really strange. And like other people were like, oh, like that's really weird, like yada yada yada. And you know, there were also some people who were like saying like, hell yeah, brother, hell yeah. I mean, really strange, really, really strange, right? Eventually what happens is there's like this other guy there, this other like dude in the freaking lobby. He like starts to like say some things to her that are like, let's just say, for lack of a better term, a bit flirtatious. And then like they go off and they kind of do their own thing while everyone else is doing the death match. Then like I like said something, like I said like, why are you talking to him like that or something? And then she was like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean to cheat on you. I think I literally just said, it's okay. This freaking girl says, and I quote, asterisk, cries, asterisk. You cannot freaking make this up, bro. Quite literally, I got groomed by somebody on Pixel Gun 3D, and then she cheated on me. And then after that, I was like, man, she is so freaking annoying. Like, keep in mind, I'm 10 years old. I don't have a concept of what romance is. I'm just thinking, this girl is so freaking annoying. I wish she would, like, just, like, get out of my hair. Because she, like, this happened, like, multiple times. Like, after, like, multiple times, I, like, would join to a lobby, and then she would just join me. She'd just join my game, and start going through this whole freaking ordeal every single time. And it was so annoying. So I just unfriended her. I literally just unfriended her, because I just couldn't handle it. It was so freaking annoying. And after that, I literally never saw her again. Never saw her again. Don't know what happened to her. Hopefully, probably in jail. We can only hope, right? We can only hope so. We can also only hope that she didn't, like, groom some other minor or something. But, you know, whatever. Okay. In conclusion, be responsible, guys. Come on, don't groom people. You know, in fact, I would say actively try not to get groomed if you're a kid. Keep your kids from communicating with strangers online. And yeah, especially like if you're gonna groom people, like don't do it in Pixel Gun 3D, bro. Like, come on, man. Like this is the corniest freaking stuff I think I've ever freaking seen in my entire life. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Whatever, man. Okay, you get the picture. I'm gonna get going now. Bye bye.